Are you a fan of the asymmetrical local co-op VR games like Mass Exodus and Panoptic?
Yeah, I'm a huge fan.
Well, this is another one, only instead of being against each other, you work together. So one player is in the VR headset and is a big giant, and one person is on the computer, but the person on the computer and the person in VR are working together to achieve puzzles, sort of like Portal.
That's awesome. It's the best kind of co-op.
It's really, really cool. The person in the VR headset can pick up boxes, move stuff, press buttons and things, and his goal is to get the PC player to the end of the level, wherever the end of the level may be. You have boxes and things, and you can pick them up and move them, and you might move different moving platforms or have to stop water that's shooting up. All sorts of different things to just kind of move the PC player to the end of the level.
This is so freaking cool. This is like so cool, and I just realized that the PC player is actually a Vive tracker, or like a Vive, it's like a Vive wall thingy-majig?
No, you're the Vive, now I don't remember what it's called. It's the Vive
Thingy-majig.
Lightbox. The Lightbox.
Lighthouse.
Lighthouse, yes, so you're the lighthouse. I only realized that after a few minutes when I was looking at it, and I was like, is this the lighthouse? Because I can't see the front. And I said to Thundercat, who played with us because he's local, what do I look like? And he's like, oh, you're a bunch of green dots and stuff. And I was like, I'm a lighthouse box. I'm a light box. It's not a house, it's a box.
They're really good.
The game is super, super neat.
And, like, that's the Vive player, right?
Right, yes.
Oh my gosh, this looks so freaking cool. Like, what a horrible, terrifying, nightmare-fueled monster that is your quote-unquote friend.
Yeah, he kind of looks, to me, like Wheatley from Portal, and that just made it even better for me.
Yeah, that makes sense.
One of the things that I found in this game that I didn't actually understand for a while, even though they showed me in the controls menu that was there, was that you can pick up the boxes as the PC player. So I spent a good 20 minutes trying to push these boxes into location as opposed to picking them up and putting them where they belong.
That's pretty depressing, I'm not gonna lie.
The game itself is a lot of fun. It's not terribly long. It took me about 2 hours to complete every single level in the game. That being said, I thought they were really good levels, and I really enjoyed playing it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you played the whole game, this must be a really good game.
Yeah, we played through the entire thing from beginning to end. Part of it was I wanted to play them all so that I knew how long the game was, because we got this before the game actually came out. But the other part of it was I enjoyed it so much that we didn't want to stop until we'd finished it. And if there had been more levels, we probably would have continued playing them as well.
So you're saying that that would definitely be something you'd be interested in as an expansion to this game?
Yeah.
But that's 2 hours. Is that including the amount of time you spent trying to game without being able to pick up the stuff?
It's sort of like Portal, the co-op in Portal, in that if you have any idea how the puzzles are done, you can rush through the game really quickly. I wouldn't be surprised if you could get through the entire game in under 30 minutes, because a lot of the time is learning.
Well, that's true, but you're also a pretty smart guy, so, I mean, I imagine there's some people that this is a 6-hour game for, you know?
That's entirely true, but it's one of those things where I feel like the enjoyment comes from discovering how to do it, not so much the doing it itself.
It looks like there's no locomotion or anything.
There is no locomotion.
You're just stuck.
You stand where you are, and that's it. That's the whole game for the VR player.
I guess you could probably sit, huh?
You could sit if you wanted, yeah, but you're going to be picking stuff up from the ground, so it's not necessarily something that you want to be sitting for.
What an interesting mix of scale, though, when you have a really tiny PC player and then a giant Vive player, and that they're in the same environment. I just wonder how it looks comparatively, you know?
And not all of the puzzles are the same either. They're not opposed to putting you a long distance away from the VR player.
So one of the first things you'd have to do is try to figure out how to get to each other.
Maybe you don't get to each other. There are entire times where you're just handling this through voice communication, saying, here's what I need you to do, without ever being able to see. Now, thankfully, the PC player has this little ping thing that shoots above his head. It shows the VR player where you are, so you can kind of see them and understand a little bit better. But generally speaking, you might not see somebody. You might not know what they're doing.
I can really appreciate that. That doesn't seem like specifically something that we mentioned in our Dear VR Developers video, but that is absolutely something that I love to see. An interesting game mechanic that hasn't been fully fleshed out at any other point.
Yeah, and this really is the first asymmetric co-op game we've played. Even though they call them co-op, Mass Exodus and Panoptic are not cooperative.
Yeah, I would say that's anything but.
You are absolutely trying to destroy the other player, which is fine too. And Mass Exodus is still one of the best asymmetric multiplayer games I've played in a very long time. It's a lot of fun, and it's very, very cool. This is the same. It's a lot of fun, and it's very, very cool.
What would you change about the game? Were there any parts of the game where you were just like, that doesn't make any sense?
No, but there are a couple of puzzles that you can get stuck in, and we actually had to restart the game at one point because the controls are a little bit wonky at times. For example, the VR player, when they pick up a box, if that box touches anything, the box can occasionally go flying, but the VR player can't go get a box, and there was a room that the VR player had to open up with a box so that the PC player could go inside and press a button. When I went inside, Thunder pressed the button, the game didn't register it very properly, and sent the box flying across the map, and I was locked in a room, unable to get out.
That's kind of funny. I mean, that is definitely a glitch, yeah. So, I mean, this is... How new is this game exactly?
Brand new. It just came out last week.
Oh, wow.
But nobody's playing it yet, so I understand that they may not catch everything.
So you said this is asymmetrical local co-op. Is it local only, or can you... Is there any chance you can play it online? Like, I could throw my headset on and you could be the little doohickey dude? Although you'd probably be a terrible person to play it with because you've already beaten the puzzles.
There is no online. That doesn't exist in this game yet. Mass Exodus only just added it in.
Oh, they did?
I think that's going to be the first game I've ever played where you can play online with other people who don't have the Vive or the Oculus or any of that. So it's not something that we see a whole lot of, and I haven't seen it from anything yet.
What are your thoughts on the game? What's the number one takeaway about this game over any other game that I might want to try?
It's a lot of fun if you like puzzle games. It's going to be a short experience. It's $15, and you're paying $15 for probably 2 hours of gameplay. You might get a little bit more, but that just means you're dumb, and that's not something that I think...
And that means a lot coming from the guy that couldn't figure out how to pick up boxes.
I'm just saying, like, I don't think a selling point should be this game will have a lot of gameplay for you if you're dumb.
Well, I mean, what if you're not dumb, but the person on the other half is kind of dumb?
Then you're just going to be annoyed at each other because you're going to be going, come on! Press the button!
I have played games with you, and I imagine that that is exactly what was going on in most of these situations.
No, not at all. It was a highly cooperative and incredibly calm moment. We were collaborating, and it was all pleasant and very, very good, and there was no yelling whatsoever.
You know, I have Thundercat here on the line, and he actually tells me quite a different story. That is Eye in the Sky. What is your final solution?
Hello,
what is your...
No.
I am absolutely real and not at all.
That's Eye in the Sky. What do you think?
Oh my god, you can't say that. You need to apologize.
It's not going to be in the video.
Oh, yes, it is.
It better not be. God, no. I couldn't remember what...
I'm going to show how incredibly insensitive you are.
Oh. Oh, no. Well, I apologize for my lack of verbiage and my excess of inappropriate verbiage.
Eye in the Sky is a lot of fun. It's a really cool cooperative game. The asymmetrical local play means that you can play with somebody in your house, which isn't something that you get to do a whole lot of in Vive because it takes so much space. They're very expensive. Most people don't have two that they can play together in the same room. This is something that gives you that experience, and I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's really, really neat game. I think you should try it out. It's $15. I think you're going to enjoy it. And I think it's one of those things that you can play with several different friends, and you can be the VR player and then the PC player and double the amount of time that you get out of the game, because it is different for each one. And just because you know how to complete the puzzles doesn't mean you actually know what the hell you're supposed to do in the other role that you haven't played yet.
You know, since this reminds me so much of Portal, I have to ask, you know, being reminded of you and I playing Portal together, can you kill the other player?
No, you can't, but the PC player can die. But you can't actually kill them. We found a whole bunch of little glitches in this game that were kind of fun to play with, and I don't know if they're actually meant to be there. But, for example, we managed to take the VR player, put a box. He would hold a box, and then the PC player could jump on it briefly and jump to the next area.
Well, that's kind of cool.
Well, you could tell that you weren't supposed to be able to do that, because as soon as you jump onto the box that the VR player is holding, the box drops. But it's just a short enough period of time that you can kind of bunny hop onto the box and then onto another place. And I'm not sure that you're supposed to do it that way. One of the levels, level 6, I think it was, it's a green level. We got through that level in 45 seconds maybe. And I'm pretty sure that we weren't supposed to do it the way that we did. That level, I guarantee you, we cheesed our way through it by breaking the game in some way, because I just jumped up onto a box that he was holding and jumped onto the top platform and walked into the door. And I'm very positive that's not the way that it's meant to be played. I don't think you should be able to beat that level that quickly, but we did.
Yeah, I think I definitely see some opportunities here to kill your cooperative players. That's even more like Portal than what I would have imagined.
There are ways that the PC player can die, but you can't really kill them.
Well, right there, he could have just let the sludge pour on your head intentionally. That's what I would have done.
I know you would have, and that would have been a horribly uncooperative thing to do. But the game's really neat. I think it's really cool. I think it's a lot of fun. I think you should try it out if you've got somebody to play with. So Crypto will never play this game.
Sad face.
But for everybody with friends, check it out. There you go, guys. That's Eye in the Sky. It's out now on Steam. You can pick it up for $14.99. Let us know what you think. Have you tried it? Have you played Mass Exodus or Panoptic? Have you played any of these sort of cooperative style games? And what do you think of them if you have played them? Like it if you like it. Don't like it if you don't. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out the Patreon. We are also giving away all of our games now on Juniper. You can find the link down below. Choose whichever games you want. Win them all. It's up to you. And as always,
We'll see you on the next one.